Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 12th through the 18th. And during that time, we have a waning crescent moon for the first part of the week. And that's a good, calm, stable time when we're thinking about growth. What have we just done in this last cycle, and what might we want to do in the next cycle, because our new beginning comes with the new moon on the 14th. And of course, that's a time for a fresh start, a time for us to learn new skills, or start new projects, or make new decisions. So keep that in mind. We then have the waxing crescent moon for the rest of the week. And that's when when our senses are heightened. And it is a good time for us to plan and begin the work that we've decided on the new moon. What do you want to work on this month? So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to meditate and contemplate. All right, let's see what the Libra collective is going on for this week. Oh, as I'm just knocking things over with my hand. Oh, big arms today. Wow. Anyway, as I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder this week is that you take the time to learn something new. This totally goes along with this new moon energy that we have this week. And many times as adults, I feel like I'm learning something new every day. But as far as deep diving and learning something, I will have to set aside some time to do that. To read a book about a topic, or find a lecture, or take a class, that sort of thing. But make sure that if there's something that's been on your mind the last few weeks, take some time to learn about it. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you this week. All right, let's get into this reading, Libra. I'll try to be less clumsy as we go through this reading. July 12th through the 18th, meditate and contemplate. And Libra, your overall present energy is the Seven of Cups. So it looks like you're in a place where you have a lot of choices to make about something. And maybe this is why you're being asked to meditate and contemplate, to really think about things and make sure that, when you have the luxury of choice, which I do think choice is a luxury. When you have that kind of luxury, you want to make sure that you are choosing well and choosing wisely and choosing with your goals in mind and the person that you're trying to be ultimately. Make sure that you're making those kinds of right choices for your life. Your current situation is the hangman. So you've got some sort of new perspective here, and maybe that's influencing the way you're making your choices right now. This could be anything under the sun, but let's say that you've recently had a spiritual awakening and you've decided, I would like to live my life in a different way. And now you've got choices to make on how to implement those changes. So, whatever it is and whatever choices you're making, it is a good week for new choices with this new moon, but don't overwhelm yourself. If and I'm using this example of a spiritual awakening, you can only change slowly, and you can really only change one thing at a time. And this is the reason that we have new moons, and we get them every cycle. Every new moon that comes around, it's almost like a happy New Year's is the way I see it. It's like, instead of a whole list of New Year's resolutions, you just take one thing and you say, you know what, I'm going to be better about this thing. I'm going to change this about myself this month. So whatever that new perspective is for you, again, choose wisely. At the root of your situation is the Three of Wands. So you're definitely thinking about new ventures and new things. As this new moon comes along, I like how your card is also the new moon in Pisces. I'm not sure where the new moon is. I need to get a little wheel or something for myself so I can remember where these new moons are. But the Three of Wands is definitely about new ventures, entering into new things. It can also be about travel. So that could be something that you're thinking about. But whatever it is, you're making new decisions, and you are new choices, and you have a new perspective. So you're just all right in, Libra, with the way the moon is going right now. In your recent past here, Five of Wands. So there could have been some friendly and fun debate, or some competition, or something that you're coming into this, or even conflict. And that could be what has really changed your perspective. It could be that, I always say when we're having conflicts, that it's good to hold your ground and make your point, but also good to listen, because sometimes we have those conflicts because someone knows something that we don't. And, that can be very hard to be like, okay, let me listen to you and see and let someone change you if they know something more than you, something better than you. Sometimes it's good to listen other than just speak your mind and hold your ground and have your argument and not. I like the challenge. I like when someone can prove me wrong, because it means I'm going to learn something. So anyway, that you're coming into this new perspective with some sort of recent kind of conflict in that way, and like some sort of debate again, some words maybe were going on, and it's kind of opened your eyes a little bit. What is on your mind this week is the Chariot. So, along with thinking about new ventures, the Chariot is like gathering the information to make that move. And this could be thinking about these choices. Again, you're being asked to meditate and contemplate. So, new perspective. This is a new path that you're trying to take. The Chariot is about gathering that information, new ventures down here. So, everything's kind of new for you. There's something going on that there's kind of, I'm feeling this kind of freedom, like there's something that's maybe been lifted from you recently. And again, it's change your perspective. And so you're like, oh, let me enter into it this way. So I think it's exciting. What is just ahead of you this week is the Temperance card. So as you're meditating and contemplating and gathering this information and thinking about new ventures, you're doing it in a very calm way. This is really just flowing energy, being very centered. This card is about fulfillment. This is our angel. If you've got the devil on one shoulder, this is the angel on the other one, just telling you those positive things. This is going to work out. This is going to be great, and kind of leading you in that direction, in a positive direction. So that's really nice there. In your advice position is the Magician. I love this reading. Libra, I love this reading. We now have three major arcana. The Magician is asking you, what is it that you want to change? What choices are you trying to make that are good with this new perspective, with this new venture, with this information that you're gathering, and with this new calm? Where are you going? That's basically what the Magician is saying. Where are you going, and which vehicle are you going to use to get there? Are you going to change something in your emotional life, in your material life? In your intellectual life, or in your passion life. So think about the elements and think about what is it that you want to add to your life right now. What is lacking and what do you need? And add where you need to, right? It'll be different for different Libras. What is beyond your control this week is the King of Pentacles. So beyond your control is you're not even thinking in monetary or material, that's not even where your mind is this week, because you are the king of that. Everything's taken care of, and it's almost like the bills are paid, the bank account's full, the house is in order, and it's giving you time to think these bigger thoughts, to think about new ventures and new things that you want to do, because everything is kind of just okay on the material realm. So you're good there. Secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid. Wow, the Fool, new journey. Look at this. With now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. That's a pretty major week for you. Anytime I see 4 or more, I think, wow, these are kind of big changes that you're going through. So is it your secret desire to take off on this new venture? You're definitely thinking about it down here at the root of this. You're gathering some information. You've got a new perspective. So what is this new venture? I'm excited. It could be anything under the sun. This could be a new romance. This could be, for some of you, taking off and deciding to continue your education. This could be a new job. There's so many things under the sun that this could be some new passion project. But is that your secret desire? Is to have this new lease on things and take off onto this new journey and this new adventure, or are you trying to avoid that? You need to ask yourself. It'll be different for different Libras, but ask yourself and at least understand that answer, and then go with whatever answer you come up with here for yourself. In your outcome, Libra, is the Death card. So, of course, with each new beginning comes something, and I don't even see this death as a negative, which I never really do. The Death card is about ending. So, of course, you can't have a new beginning without ending something and putting some old way of being behind you. And everything on the table right now tells me that you are ready for a new way of being. Every single card, every single one of them. I mean, you've come out of something, that you've learned something new, perspective. You've got choices to make. You're doing it in a very balanced way. You've got the magician on your side. Your material world's under control, and it's time to take off on something new if you choose. And you're going to leave the old behind. So, what is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck, Libra, is the King of Swords. So, this is our card of logic. I feel like we don't have any other swords in this whole reading either. So a lot of this is based on passion and feeling. We've got cups here as a suit and wands. Other than that, it's a lot of major arcana. So I feel like, these are kind of emotional choices, and logic is not really playing a huge part in it. It also might be that it's just kind of, it's almost like the logical next step. Like, you don't need logic. Like, whatever this new perspective is definitely leading you, it's just kind of pushing you into a way, right, that doesn't really require logic. It's like, it's almost just obvious, right? So that makes sense to you. I do love this reading, though. Whatever it is, it seems very exciting. Trying to see if I've missed anything here. I don't. You're doing it very emotionally balanced with this new perspective. So meditate and contemplate, and really just think about your next choice, and what is that you really, really want to do. Contemplate, because the energy is definitely ripe there for the picking. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Libra. Nurture yourself first. Love that. Take care of you. Take care of you. I mean, you've taken care of everything else, it looks like. Let's take some time to take care of you. Speaking of nurturing yourself, let's get you a self-care wisdom card. What is it that you need to do in the way of self-care while you're meditating and contemplating this new you, whatever it might be? Okay, and the card that you get is the card that says risk with 2 die on it. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growth. I love this card. I love that so much. Take the risk. I know this is supposed to be, is it your secret desire, or are you trying to avoid? But I feel like all the other cards are saying, do it, take a risk, do it. Whatever this thing that you're thinking about, whatever this leap of faith that you're wanting to make, there's no logic to it. There's no logic to it. Take the leap and do it. So, Libra, good luck. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If any of this is resonating, please let me know. I'm very excited to know what kind of leap of faith you are taking and why. So if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is really helpful to me. So thank you in advance for doing that. I really do appreciate you being here with me and spending some time with me here today. So good luck with this. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.